Hey everyone, this is Harlan Kilstein, and we are discussing your self esteem and the key to success. A lot of people wonder about self esteem and success, and there really is a connection. It's simple to understand. People who feel good about themselves succeed. Just check it out. People who have low self esteem are easily sidetracked, they're going from one thing to another. People with high self esteem aren't afraid to fail, and so they take risks and they take action. People with low self esteem are set up for failure, and failure inevitably comes. The most deadly sin that you can do is beating up on yourself, finding fault with yourself, making excuses for yourself, and when you do succeed, downplaying your successes. If you change this, your life changes. Let me tell you the story about Jonathan. Jonathan, and that's his real name, at least it's his first name, was a student of mine, and I believe he was in 7th or 8th grade. And the end of the school year came, and he wanted to help me in school, stacking books, working in the book room. And there were a number of kids who did that, and Jonathan was one of them. And it was one of the rewards of working for me is I would send them out to lunch to a pizza store that was in the neighborhood. I would give them an order to bring back to me, and I would also pay for their lunch. And when I asked Jonathan to do it, he was stunned because no one had ever sent him out to do something like this before. And he said, "Are you sure you want to send me? I never get anything right. I always get things wrong." And I said, "Jonathan, you're the one I want." He goes, "All right. Well, what do you want me to get?" I said, "I want you to get me 2 slices of pizza and a Diet Coke." Can you handle that? 2 slices of pizza and a Diet Coke. Now, Jonathan went out, and instead of coming back in like 10 or 15 minutes like everyone else did, Jonathan came back in about an hour. He said, "Oh, I knew that I messed it up. I knew that I messed it up. Is it okay that I ate there? I ate my pizza there instead of bringing it back, but now your pizza is cold." And I said to him, I'd honestly rather have cold pizza because I hate it when it comes out of the oven and it's so hot that it burns your mouth. I wasn't going to let him find fault in himself. And then he produces a bag that I see is soaking. See, everybody else that I sent when I asked for 2 slices of pizza and a Diet Coke, brought back 2 slices of pizza and a can of Diet Coke. Jonathan brought back a cup of Diet Coke without a cover and carried it in the bag so it spilled all over the place. And by the time he got back, only a miracle was holding the bag together because the Diet Coke was soaking through and had completely sloshed my pizza. And Jonathan's going, "See, I told you I couldn't do it." I said, "Jonathan, what are you talking about?" He said, "See, I ruined your pizza." I said, "You didn't ruin my pizza." I said, "Jonathan, when you have a slice of pizza and then you have some Diet Coke, what happens?" He said, "It all gets mixed together." I said, "That's right. And you just did it first." I said, "This is a great way to eat." And I sat down and I ate my slice of pizza. And he looked at me and he said, "You aren't mad at me?" And I said, No, I'm not." And that day, something happened to Jonathan. I don't know what it was. His parents did not send him back to that school the following year. After that day, I never saw Jonathan again. Fast forward. I am in Israel, and I'm walking down a street, and a woman comes up to me. I have no idea who she is. And she says, "I just wanted to say thank you for what you did." I said, "Do I know you?" And she said, "You don't know me, but you know my fiance." And I said, excuse me, ma'am, I'm not sure who you are, and I'm not sure who your fiance is. And she turns and she points to a tall soldier, a paratrooper, in one of the most elite units who's standing across the street, and he waves to me. I waved to him and I said, do you know, um, uh, do I know him? And she said, yes. He said he wants to buy you some pizza. He said he knows the way you like it. So I crossed the street, and the soldier buys me pizza, and he goes, Diet Coke, right? I said, right. And he takes the Diet Coke and he pours it on the pizza. And he goes, this is the way you like it. It was Jonathan. He said, I have to tell you that when you said that I did it right, even though I was trying to get it wrong, you showed me that I had potential that nobody else in the world ever showed me. It changed my life. From that point on, I realized that there was nothing that I couldn't do. I came here, I joined the paratroopers, I met my fiance, and I really owe it all to spilling some Diet Coke on your pizza. And we had a good laugh together. And you see that sometimes if you just interrupt this beating yourself up, amazing things can occur. So do not let that happen to you. Success starts right here. You have to believe in yourself, because if you don't, other people won't either. If you go to a football game, you're on the field as a player, there are cheerleaders. In life, you are your own cheerleader. Depending on anyone else to cheer you on is holding you back. There is only one way out, and that is by working the plan. You have to work harder than everyone. You cannot succeed at anything without a plan. Create a short-term goal, and once you achieve it, create a new goal. As you reach your goals, what happens is your self-esteem rises. As your self-esteem rises, you get more and more incentive to continue. So, enough excuses. The list of excuses is endless. You didn't get into the internet early enough. You don't have a big list. You can't get the gurus to JV with you. You can't afford to hire A-list copywriters or graphics people. You don't have time to go through all the products you've bought. Enough already. No excuses. It is so easy to think that everyone else had it easy but you. To succeed, you have to take risks. Guess what? You may even fail. God knows I did enough times. So what? Long-term success is not instant success. Learn from your failures. Embrace the challenge. You get into the ring. You're looking down a champion. If you turn and run around and run away from him for the entire fight, one thing I can assure you, you're never going to win. So you need to turn and face the challenges. Now, the older people get, the older we get, the more set in our ways we become. But what we don't understand is change becomes our ally. But we are so deadly afraid of change. Do you deserve self-esteem success? Have you made a plan? Are you constantly working your plan? Do you learn from setbacks and get right back in the game if you have a setback? Now, it's become normal in America to reward failure in the name of self-esteem. You know, we make excuses from everyone saying, oh, he suffered from low self-esteem. That's why he murdered and raped and whatever. But it's okay because it's all a self-esteem problem. All the stuff that people do, that's not self-esteem. That's excusing mediocrity. Everybody talks about carpe diem. Well, I want you to know there's another thing to seize, not the day, but the night. What's your dream? What is it? Do you know what it is? What do you want for yourself? What do you want for your family? The bad news is there is no one sitting around just to hand you your dream. The good news is that if you make a plan and you stick to it, you will get your dream. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to get down inside and ask yourself, what's your why? Why do you want to succeed? Because when you have that, you are on the road to success.